July 5th. We're out here day after 4th of July. Still seeing Rivian push, come in with some volume and some more catalyst on the day. Um, the other stock that I was kind of looking at was CCCC. Uh, it has some lung cancer news. I don't know what it's gonna do, but it's in direct competition with Rivian on the day in the number 2 slot. So definitely keeping an eye on that one. Rivian had a big rip out, gap filled here from the 17 up to the 1850s, and then continued after that up to almost $20, and then into the aftermarket and into today's pre-market up to about $21. So definitely keep an eye on that. I may be looking for at Rivian for some swings if it can dip down and continue to hold that gap fill that it did. I may look for it on some swings. It does have some very good catalysts and more good catalysts on today, and let's actually read that. So today we see Rivian shares trading higher after they raised the price target. Okay, that's nothing. Amazon to roll out Rivian electric delivery vans in Europe. That was some news for them on today. So Amazon doing some work for them in Europe. Um and so we know Amazon is definitely a big fish. And that means they're probably, I don't know if they're in direct partnership, but it's kind of like a big team up, with it being EV and AI and all of this going on with it. And we know Amazon has definitely had its hands in AI as well. Good morning, Lori. But for CCCC, look out here on the daily chart. I was just looking at some levels. It has some consolidation here between maybe the 2 or 3, right around the $3 whole dollar level. Let me delete this one. Right right at that $3 whole dollar level, and then up here to this 350, and it is now down to 337. So it's back just trading within this range, and I'm wondering, can it get above this 350 and try to test the 4? I don't know. It has 4 million shares traded right now. Let me brighten this up. Let's go and check out some of these statistics on CCCC. All right, C4 Therapeutics profile. Let's see, 146 employees out of United States. And their news is that they're working on some type of lung cell cancer drug. Let's look at the statistics, see what the float is on this one. The float is about 42.52 million. They are operating in the negatives right now, but that doesn't mean it's not going to do anything on today, especially with the volume that it has. Let's go out here and see if they have any shelf registrations. Good morning, Donnell. They do not. Whoa, yeah, they do. They have an automatic shelf registration there, but that was in 2021, so that is quite a ways back in the past. So I'm not too worried about that. That was what, 2 years ago. I mean, they could initiate it, but I'm not gonna let that affect what's going on today. CCC. As long as it continues to compete with Rivian. Float 40 million. And then my day one syllabus. So for CCC, I need to see high relative volume, which it doesn't really have right now unless it needs to recalculate after the open. Right now, I'm seeing the high relative volume or the relative volume at 0.40, but these may recalculate at the open. They haven't been moving. They haven't been moving, so I want to see it with higher relative volume. Ticker without a history of giving back gains, so it's or a pump and dump, you know, those big wicks and then give it all back. I don't see that on this daily chart. Ticker with obvious support level, and the support level that it has that I was kind of looking at is right in here around this 325. I want to see how it holds the 325, how close it can get to that 325-ish level. And I also want to continue to read into their news too to make sure I'm not getting into a dud. Abnormally large percent gainer. So it's up 21%. It's the biggest gainer right now on the day. Rivian only has 6%, but Rivian, it has a lot of attention from investors and traders. Ticker under 100 million float. Ticker with a catalyst. It does have a catalyst on today, and competing tickers with catalyst, which would be Rivian, do not need to double or triple the volume of this target ticker, which is CCCC. So let's continue to read into their news here. News headlines, pre-market, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so June 20th they appointed a new CMO. Outperform recommendation. Oh, that's not really the news I want to see. Let's go back over here. C4 Therapeutics announces FDA clearance of investigational drug application. Last month they had they received 10 million upfront payment. Okay, so now we're talking money. Let's see. So that was the Q1 loss. Broker revenue forecast for C1 Therapeutics are surging higher. Let's read into this. So Therapeutics and Beta Pharmaceuticals announced exclusive licensing agreement for the development and commercialization of Greater China. Okay, so this is a Chinese stock, I guess. They received a 10 million upfront payment, a 25 million equity investment, and is eligible to receive up to 357 million for development and commercial milestones plus royalties on net sales in Greater China. Okay, so that's a lot of what ifs, but maybe the what ifs will get fed into today. Let's see. A clinical stage. Okay, small. Okay, under the terms of the agreement, this is what I just read about the money and all that up front. And so it says it expects to receive 35 million, which includes, so it hasn't received any of this money yet. Oof. Okay, I don't know about that. It hasn't even, so in the agreement, it's supposed to get 3,500 and all of this, but that hasn't happened yet. The agreement hasn't been established fully yet. So, we'll see. We'll see what it wants to do. Give it the first little hour and see where it lands. Rivian going back towards $21. Now, Rivian is going to be a beast on the day. It was a beast on Friday as well. Donnell says scans are quiet this morning. I don't know. Rivian is not too quiet. Big range, big volume, getting even bigger attention because of all the news. Rivian may be the play for today, but I'm going to let it show us what it wants to do out of the open because I don't want to get caught in some kind of flush. The day that it was actually ripping was a short day, so a lot of people didn't really get really active on it. Got about 15 minutes, only up 7%. This is a continuation, Donnell. We're not worried about 7%. You not the catalyst is what matters on this one. This is a continuation. See, this is what I was one of my syllabuses was for continuation. So one thing I'm not worried about on continuation is a big gainer. I'm thinking about the catalyst that it has. AI, EV, and it has a partnership with Amazon. 7% is nothing. 7%, look, we're not even worried about the gains now. We're not even worried about the percent gain. We worried about the catalyst, the continuation of a very strong catalyst with multiple keywords. If it didn't have that catalyst, then I'll be scared. I'd be like, oh no, it has no reason to continue. But it has every single reason to continue. But want to be safe and wait for it to show us its true colors. Because it has a really big range right now. Dunhill said he's sleep on it. All right. You never know. Even by the end of the day, it might be up to 30. You'd be like, dang, man, I slept on that one. So we got about 15 minutes to the bell. Let me flip out here and look through a little bit more of what's going on out in the world today. All right, let's see. The tricky story behind a U.S. manufacturing downturn. Oh, did y'all hear the hottest day globally in recorded history was July 3rd. Everybody in the world was sweating. So we experienced the hottest day in recorded history, and they said to expect even hotter days now. And I know here consistently we've been getting 105, 106, 108, something like that, right under the 110 mark. So we've been kind of cooking. So I'm wondering what companies would benefit from high temperatures. Would it be like cruise ships, vacationing places that where people want to go swimming, or would it be aviation with airplanes going further up into the atmosphere? Could they create or invent something that would I guess pacify some of the radiation, pacify some of the sun rays, and then it could be used further down here on Earth? I don't know. Could it be the solar? I mean, not the solar, the wind turbines with more. It has been a lot windier. I can't say that. Could it be? Could it be that be some kind of money making operation on the increased windage from the solar flares? Hmm. Thinking. I don't know. Problem is here with our humidity, no water evaporates, so it's just hot water in the ground. It takes a long time for a puddle to disappear here. Long time. Which is why those mosquitoes love it. They're like, oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Just lay my eggs and mosquitoes get big as golf balls. Not really. They really aren't that big. It's like they're just numerous. You'll receive like 30 bites just because they're hungry. Hmm. All right, let's go over to FinViz and see what we got going on over here. Rebound in the rates puts pressure on banks again. Man, banks just can't catch a break. Let me go look at my So I have a watch list that I've been watching. These are a lot of dividend stocks and things like that that I'm kind of interested in and have been looking at. I did get an entry on AT&T. Got a field there. That field was, let me go back over to my dividend on AT&T. Got a field here, back here at 1569, but I wanted to add some more. I wanted to enter a little bit slower. It is a dividend stock. I wanted to come on down so I can add some more, but you know, it's whatever. Adding slowly for those nice sweet dividends. And then I need to add to this list as well because I made a dividend scanner that I can find these dividends pretty easy. Verizon getting on up there. This was another one I was looking at. 37 bucks down here around the 35s is where I was looking at. It did not come down. It kind of went up. It's all good. We'll be patient. Let's look over here on the top 10 volume movers. Still Rivian leading the way. CCCC jumping out of there with 360 on the board, 27% up. But that Catalyst not receiving any money yet. I don't know. We'll see. Let's actually. I didn't even finish reading the whole lung cancer thing that we were going over. Clearance investigational new drug. Clinical stage, blah, blah, blah. Treated today. Okay. Dedicated to advancing targeted protein degradation science to develop new generation of small molecule medicines. This milestone marks a C4T or marks C4T's fourth IND clearance from its proprietary torpedo platform in May 2023. Entered exclusive licensing agreement for the development and commercialization of this drug. I want to know what actually is what they're treating. EGFR mutation in China. Plans to commence the first in-human clinical trial. Responsible plan. Okay, C4 expects to initiate clinical trial activities outside Greater China following the completion of the phase 1 dose escalation study. So they haven't even done the phase 1 dose. More and more red flags popping up from China. I think I'm going to end up watching Rivian though. See where it dips to. Let's look on a daily chart for Rivian and see if they have any clear levels other than this gap fill. I don't know if it can come back down to 17. I mean, gap fill, that'll be a very harsh pullback in a very short amount of time. But if it does get down there, I mean, it's got another gap that is created here. Let me delete some of these lines here. We're not worried about these all the way down here. But it did create another gap here from the 1668 up here to the 1784. So that could be some play range there. But we'll see. Will it swing back down here to the 16s before continuing higher, or does it want to just touch the moon? NCRA up 16%, not too impressive. Only 1 million shares traded. We have about 7 minutes left to the open. We got two. I mean, these are kind of like mediocre high percent gainers. 15%, 27%. We're used to seeing, 80, 100%, 120%. Those types. But These are very mediocre percent gainers. Apple loses appeal. Wait, why is this news popping up on Rivian? It says Apple loses appeal of 4G patent infringement in London court. AI can drive TSMC's revenue rebound, and Alibaba conducts strategic review of Yuko and Todo amidst rivalry. I probably destroyed those names, but it looks like some kind of Asian names there. I don't know. But yeah, they lost a lawsuit. We'll see what happens with Apple. Where's Apple at? I don't think that's the right ticker. Apple just doing its thing now. It did go about straight up from 123 up here to the 190s, and they've lost a lawsuit, so we may see a little bit of a pullback today on Apple, but not super high interest over there. Everybody's really on Rivian. Got about 5 minutes to the bell, and our top two watches is Rivian and CCCC. Wonder, can Rivian explode back over the 21s on the open? Had a previous body candle here of the 2097, which is just kind of floating below. Then it's got all of these lines down here that it kind of left in the dust. And I don't know which one of these could be anything for it. Come on, time. We almost got at least one up to 10 million shares traded on the day out of pre-market, which is very encouraging, especially with these being midweek hump day movers. This is Wednesday, I think. Yeah. And a lot of times on Wednesdays, we see those continuation moves. So that's why I'm so interested in Rivian, to see if the cycle continues on continuation. CCCC getting knocked down, hit a high up here of 364. Not that impressive range though. If it goes under 15%, I think people are going to absolutely ignore it. They won't care what it does if it dumps. Okay, Rivian looking like it wants to go towards that 21. Very quick bounces here. 21 getting tested. Yeah, I say let Rivian play. Let it show its true colors. Because this thing, I mean, it has what, a 39-cent range, average true range right now. So almost a 40-cent range, and you could lose 40 cents in a blink of an eye. There's 30 cents right there almost. Hmm. Okay, I'll check all that out. 2077, 2078. So we have about 30 minutes or 30 seconds to the open. And this is the sentiment after the July the 4th kind of rest period. Can we see something crazy today? Not seeing anything else come on the volume movers either. Okay, so there's the open 2080s. See if Rivian can give us some red. Show that test to the 20. Not looking like it wants to. Looks like it's going to go ahead and go. There's 21 getting touched. Woo! This is why we wait to see those true colors. Another tap on the 21, becoming a little bit of resistance there. Let's see what kind of pullback it does. Okay. 12 million shares traded now. Will shorts be more focused on Rivian this morning? What in the world? What I got going on over here? So made a bottom here at the 2055 on Rivian. Another try for the 21s with some more selling pressure. I'm thinking it can push out of this over the 21. Yep. There's another little touch. Very strong stock. Just gathering data right now though. VWAP right now for this one is the 2070. It is going below VWAP and testing back down again. 14 million shares with multiple failures at that 21 at the open. I'm going to see how far away from that 21 it can get though. Continues to bounce off of that 2050, 2075 area. Bottom of these bodies is 20. Bottom of these bodies is 2042. Looking for it to push into this previous resistance. And it actually has a gap all the way down here to 1968. So it definitely has room to go down if it wants to. And now CCC, like I said, if it goes below 15%, people are gonna, they're probably not even gonna touch it. And it's already looking super weak. Looking on the daily chart for Rivian though, we can see this top side, what was this, 2160s, and it's coming back and testing this $20 flat right now. I want to see it if it can get below that 20 flat, and it has this gap fill at the 1950s. We'll see what kind of action happens there. on Rivian. Amazon now up on the top volume movers. Let's see what Amazon's got going over here. And Apple. Did I already put Apple on here? No. Okay. Of course, we know Amazon is working with Rivian. Amazon has had quite a bit of a run up itself, just like Apple. And most of the tech stocks ran from 80, hit a bottom down here at 83, made a higher low at 90s, and then ran all the way to the 130s. So 90 up to the 130s. Rivian continue to push downwards. We'll see what this gap fill holds for it at the 1966 if it can get there. Maybe 1950. This is a spot for it. Danielle, you said IMPL, and then Lori called out IMBI. IMBI. Getting on up there, 22 cents. IMBI. And then IMPL. 28%. IMBI 19 up to 22. Rivian going down to the 20 flat. Ooh, right down to that 20. Look at that big move down there to 20. Get on through there. Go ahead and destroy the 20. Fill this whole gap. 1950s is looking like. Very strong push down there. Clear level of resistance up here at the 20, right at the 21. So I don't know how quickly this thing will be able to reverse, but the 1950s is definitely looking like a spot. 1981s, keep going down, baby. CCC, not looking the greatest. Came back into this level, hit the 332s, but we'll have to see. Tesla is walking it down over here. Tesla catching up very quickly. And not seeing too many other low flows. We got CHRS. I don't know what this thing is. Biosciences 452. Not really moving a whole lot. Okay. But yeah, this is the first test of the 20. Probably going to get a little bit of a bounce before continuation down. Only $1 away from where it was. Average true range right now is 64 cents. And this is the first 15-minute candle struggling to hold the 20s. But it is holding the 20s. Back over 20 there. Low of the 1976. But I don't think it's done yet. What is this? IMPL. And see what else we got. What was the other one Lori called out? IMBI. Has a top up here of 24 cents, up 95%. If you have a strategy for trading penny stocks, these are like the actual penny stocks. Definitely be careful. They can allow for a greater sizing, but also a bigger a lesser percent chance that it'll be a repeating less of a chance that it'll repeat the movement that it does on the open with the volume. But it's got 66 million shares traded right now. Rivian back over 20. Let's see, it went down to 1979, popped up here. This is what we're looking for, is range. 64 cents. Look at this pop up from 1974 up here to 2020. That's range right there. Let's see if they can get some more pull down though. We know that some buyers got in here. This level, it would be looking like a head and shoulders, but I want to see it push through this 1975, get all of those longs flushed out of this gap fill here is what I'm looking for. $19.75 failure. My BMR is still looking good. Still holding my BMR is still holding green for me. Just looking for it to start getting over that $3. It's at $2.89 right now. Just doing its little thing, barely moving, nobody paying attention to it. I like it. Just keep doing your thing, BMR. This is the BMR charting. I saw it come down here once before it dropped through, and I was like, okay, this level looks interesting for a hold, this 275. Let's see what happens. Anything else popping up? Okay, Rivian getting some heat back into it. All the way almost back up here to the bottom that it had here at the 2040s. Hopefully it doesn't get over that and it wants to go down some more. IMBI, small breakout out of this 24, 106 up. Reliable says DWAC. DWAC? Where'd DWAC come from? What DWAC doing? 2 million shares traded. Let's see. Threw some wicks up there at 15. Came back down to 13. Let me pull this up on the other, on TOS, DWAC. Okay, so we know DWAC is a previous meme stock. It had a high here of 1616s, had a gap up for some reason. Let's see why it gapped up. Gapped up from 12s all the way up here to the 14s. Why is that? Let's look back. Digital World Acquisition agrees to settle with US SEC over probe into Trump media merger deal. Okay. I wonder what they're settling for though. That's the question. Are they settling on some good terms for them or some bad terms? Digital World Acquisition has agreed to proposed settlement with U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, which has been investigating the special purpose acquisition company's business combination deal with Trump Media and Technology Group, according to Monday filing with the regulator. If the SEC approves the settlement, it will enter a cease and desist order finding Digital World violated certain see, this isn't good for them. It says a cease and desist. Oh, okay, I see. So basically they're gonna pull this order back off of them. So I guess it is good. certain anti-fraud provisions of security laws. The company said that as a part of the proposed pact, it will pay an 18 million civil penalty and amend its previously filed merger-related documents with the SEC to ensure it is materially complete and accurate and consistent with the findings in the cease and desist order, according to the filing. Failing to settle with the SEC would create a substantial risk of protracted litigation with the SEC. Digital World said in the filing. So they do not need this to fail. So that's a kind of risk if you're willing to risk that. I mean, yeah, that is a little bit of a risk. And this is why we like the news and like the catalyst. Go into it and make sure you're not gonna get your shoes and shoestrings snatched off. Back over here to Rivian though. Rivian under 20, and this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this thing to go ahead and break towards the 1950s. See what kind of action it can get. Can it slow down around the 1950 or what? IMBI. That is like a 1 cent breakout there. CCC continuing down as well. And like I said, under 15, people are just going to forget this thing exists. I mean, under 15% gainer. Okay, LSIT doing its thing. CCL. IMPL. Yeah, I think and then Rivian has what, 27 million shares traded on the day, holding right at the 20s. I want to see a big dump, man. Come on and dump. Fill this gap. It's got so much good news on it. It just needs to dump. Just an unexpected dump where buyers are like, oh my goodness, this is too good to be true. Let's buy. Especially with AI news, Amazon news, and EV news. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, these contributing factors are amazing. NIO continuing down. Lucid kind of doing the same move as Rivian right now. $7. But it's already filled this gap. This gap was at 731. What was Lucid? Did they have any news on the day? No news on today. CCC going under 15. Didn't I tell y'all? If it goes under 15, it's gonna be a dead cat, and not a dead cat bounce either. Come on, man, give up the 20. Reliable says OPK could be continuation. OPK. Let's look at that. OPK has a nice little trend. Was this one of those dividend stocks, or was it OKE? Let me see. OPK. OMF. I don't know if this was a dividend or not, but OPK grinding higher there. Let's look on the daily chart for OPK. Okay, so yeah, has a big gap that it has not done anything with up here at $4, $3.50 to $4. It has a bottom of around $1, made a higher low of the 136, and now is at the 221s. Does it need to test back down? I don't know. I don't know what is this Opco Health? What do they do? FDA approves pediatric growth hormone deficiency. Looks like they partner with Pfizer for a pediatric growth hormone deficiency drug. Could be one to watch. OPK. Apple coming on down now. I guess that lawsuit news finally starting to hit. What's the SPY doing today? Still over the 440s. Trying to get over, but everything's kind of following the SPY, looks like. Having a short-term dip here to the 442s. Mara gap filling here, had a gap of what, 1495 up to the 1532s. How much did it move out? Let's see, 1496 up here to the 1531s. That's quite a nice move there. 8 million shares on Mara. AMD. Can we find something that is not as... Okay, so Rivian finally getting under 20, man. Get this explosion downward, bro. Get through that 1975 to the 1950s. This first hour is looking beautiful. Beautiful, especially if it can keep dumping. With this kind of range, I mean, you don't need much. Get you 10, 20 shares and hold for the run, baby. Can we see that 1950 test? If we look out here on the daily chart, look at this thing. It's basically just kissing the top of the previous candle, right? 1950 is like right at the test of that level. Apple. Lucid finding a little bit more resistance under VWAP as well. Just keep pushing down. IMPL, very small range, 160 up to the 169, 9-cent range. Of course, that's expected. It's under $2. Very small range. Reliable said you tried a little on DWAC. Let me jump back over to DWAC. That is a very risky play. Hopefully your lawsuit goes good that you're getting into. We'll see. Okay, working our way on down. All you care about is if more people buy than sell. I don't know who's gonna marry into that lawsuit. We'll see. Maybe some people will, put a ring on it. Like, you know what? If everything works out in the court system, maybe we'll last. Okay. We'll see. Maybe, it's the play that everybody else has missed and you're just getting in early and things will go right though. But I wouldn't oversize into that position. I would definitely take some reasonable size and not risk everything. SPY continuing to look like it wants to pump through the four. It might be able to touch the 444s today. I don't know. All right. Well, for today, I will be continuing to watch Rivian. I want to see Rivian break down that 1950 at least. I mean, it has room to go back down to the gap fill, but that'll be a long fall with the catalyst that it has. So I'm focused on if it can get to 1950, I'm very interested in Rivian. Big range, big volume, 32 million shares. I am a BI giving up the ghost. It gave a 2 cent breakout and is down towards the dumps, of course. Lucid continuing to dump. Oh, let Rivian do something like this. Just dump. That's what I want to see. Come on, Rivian. Give me a dump. I got about 5 minutes left on the stream. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. The things that I'm gonna be watching is Rivian. I'm not too worried about IMB. Of course, you guys know what I'm looking for is something over $2. Need a little bit more gusto in there for a day trade. Let's see. Apple. Anything else popping up here? Ford just popped in, and usually Ford is like the ferryman that takes this like, hey, everything that's gonna show up has shown up for the day. So yeah, definitely still watching Rivian. Very good AI news, EV news, all of that. So I'm not taking my eyes off the prize. And I guess before I get off, I want to kind of get some better levels. I don't know exactly where Rivian could go to. It's got two gaps. It just filled one gap, and then it has another gap down here in 16 to the 17. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to wait and see. Rivian stock snags a upgrade, and then there are a few reasons. Of course, we already know the reasons. But yeah, 1950. I may take a starter position and let it play. But I don't know if I should swing Rivian because it is. I would like to swing it. I don't know about the day trade though, because it may be strong to the downside. It's going red across the board. So I may just look for a swing and just take small entries instead of a day trade. But it has such big range on the day. But we'll see. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Appreciate you guys tuning in once again. If you like the content, definitely hit the like and subscribe. We do have a Discord. I think it did my links drop this time? They did not. I don't see them. I have to fix that. Whatever. But if you're interested in the Discord, I'll probably post that. I stream every Wednesday or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, and then also you can check out Reliable Rudy's. You may have seen him in the chat. He has a stream as well that he does. He builds portfolios. He day trades as well, and does a lot of mid. Well, he does small cap, mid cap. He does the whole thing. He does the full analysis. So, but yeah, that's it for me today. And as always, I will be watching Rivian like a hawk. If I can get a scalp off of it or something like that, I'll put it in the Discord. But other than that, I don't want to get too tied in. And let me go ahead and drop the Discord link. It didn't drop it, so I'll drop it just in case y'all want to get in there. And there we go. Discord link to the trade analysis tab. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here. Got a meeting to get to. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.